It was a cold day on the island of Sodor. The fields and trees were getting so cold. Even the engines were working as hard as ever. But as for Thomas and Percy, they were feeling very cold. Travis said I needed a warm boiler, and so do you. Yes, you got that right. I sure do. Anyway, the Fat Controller told us to do a special job in the yards. Oh boy, we better find it out. All right, Percy, we've got to go. Hey, wait for me. Thanks. Thomas and Percy set off down the line together. My word, Percy, we're doing so fine. Stanley pulled up at the station. He was about to go when Thomas and Percy pulled up. Hello, Thomas. Hello, Percy. I was just thinking, where do you think you're going? We're going to help to sort out the trucks and coaches in the yard. But too bad he's never done it. Well, we have to do our best to put everything right. Oh yeah, I'm picking up supplies from the station. I'm taking them to the factory. It's gonna be very quick. And you two better get the job done or else it's too late. Well, better go now. Goodbye! Well, Stanley is so good, he can do anything. Well, Thomas, we better go. All right, Percy. Phew, it's getting so close. Oh, look, here's Whiff. Hello, Whiff. It's good to see you. And I was just thinking, are you supposed to be working at the garbage dump? No, the Fat Controller sent me to the yards. I was supposed to shunt those trucks into the sidings. But it's a good thing you two are here to help shunt the trucks in the sidings. And first, you get to shunt the trucks in those sidings. Next, Thomas, you get the crane to help put the trucks back on the rails. And Percy, you will organize the coaches' trucks and vans into their sidings. You get a splendid tip that way. It will be very easy. Yes, indeed. I remember one time, Oliver and I had to deal with the power cut. Well, we better do our jobs quickly. Well, what do you think you're waiting for? Go ahead and do your jobs. We've moved on to the turntable. Then he turned round. And then he backed himself up. Whiff realized that his driver was telling him just what to do. Well, Percy, we better get to work. Yeah, so do I. Oh my gosh, Percy, those are the trucks and vans. They're not shunted to their sidings properly. Only Bill, Ben, and Mavis do better like we did. So this time, we're going to do it better, so we could stay focused. And after that, the Fat Controller will be so proud of us. Anyway, let's get to work. All right. Thomas shunted the trucks in the sidings. Phew, that was good. And then Percy shunted the vans and trucks too into their sidings. It was a lot of hard work, but Percy was still feeling good. Now, Thomas, I'm going to shunt the other trucks in their sidings as well. And so Percy did. Phew! That was a lot of work, Thomas. So it is, Percy. We've been doing our jobs. Yes, but how? We got those trucks organized. How did we? Well, by staying on focusing. That's good to hear, Percy. Of course, Thomas. And by the way, it's so good. Now Mavis and the others would not understand because we have shunted those trucks in their sidings all on our own. Well, Percy, there are quite a few jobs to do. There are so many trucks, coaches, and vans everywhere. All we have to do is get them re-railed and shunted back again. Thomas, is it okay if I shunt those coaches back? Yes, indeed, Percy. You do the shunting and I'll get the crane. It will be a tough job. Okay then, Thomas. I'll shunt those coaches. All right. I must start. Well, I'm getting the crane now. So Percy shunted the coaches back to their sidings. Phew, that's a lot of jobs. Now, what I need to do is reverse. Here's the crane, Percy. And now, what I'm going to do is put all the rolling stock back on the rails. So Percy shunted more trucks and back to the sidings. Well, this is so good. Just then, Thomas brought the crane. And then he set to work. And Percy moved the coaches back to the sidings. Percy shunted the flatbeds back to the sidings, where they were neatly out of the way. Good job, Percy. You've been doing very well. Now, I must think about putting the vans back on the rails. So the crane worked as hard as he could, putting the vans and trucks back on the rails. Percy shunted them back again. And at long last, the job was done. Percy, that was amazing! You shunted all the trucks back into the sidings. Yes, Thomas, it was so hard work. Yes, indeed, Percy, it really was. Now, I must think about taking the crane back to the yards. Later, Thomas and Percy could see that the trucks and coaches were back on their sidings. Everyone's so happy when things are back in their places. Just then, Whip puffed up. The Fat Controller says you've been doing a marvelous job, and he's really proud of you too. Percy, you sorted out all the coaches and trucks, despite all of nothing. And Thomas, you got the crane to sort all the coaches and trucks back on the rails again. Everyone was really happy indeed.